Hey, what's going on YouTube? And in today's video, I'm going to be recapping the NA and EU Duo Catch Cup, as well as some big nerfs and other changes to this season. So, more teams have actually moved to NA for this FNCS. Now, this team has not actually come from EU, it's actually come from a way smaller region, Oceania, OCE. Alex and Worthy have moved to NA to test their luck and see how well they can place on an NA FNCS. So they have already qualified to LAN, so there's nothing to lose for them. So they came here to just be prepared for the LAN since it's in Dallas. So the first Duo Cash Cup they actually played, they didn't do too well and they didn't qualify, but they didn't do as bad as some other teams. So if we keep going, there have been lots of glitches in this recent Duo Cash Cup, especially on NA, where a lot of players couldn't queue up into their game in the finals, which was very, very annoying. And a lot of players have actually ended up missing their first game and even the second game. So let's start off with the EU recap. Malibuca and Mustache actually have not qualified. This new meta has really been bad for a lot of these top tier pros, and with the Fist removed, a lot of these teams have just been getting ran through with Nitro, and you can't really counter it as well. And the bow was actually in this Duo Cash Cup, and you can't really counter an infinite bow spammer. So first place in the finals was Chapentini again, so that's their second win, and they have been playing really aggressive, getting like a 20-something kill win in the finals. They are actually landing Nitro Dome, and they have the infinite ammo medallion, and the crossbow that they get. So that has been a huge role in how they're playing. But when I was watching their games, they didn't actually just abuse the bow. They did to position themselves in a great area where there's no other players, so they can take fights without other people third-partying. But they usually use the nitro to just run through people. So they have been on a crazy run this chapter. Last season was Chap's first FNCS, and he got second place, qualified to LAN, and now they're looking like the winners, looking like prediction for first place this FNCS. Second place, Ping and Vox, another great team. Third place, Swizzy and Vaniac. They ended up doing way better since Malibuca and Mustache are not contesting them because they didn't qual. Fourth place, Asa and Drew. And fifth place, Vico and Flixie. So Seti and Kami also did well, getting 8th place. Queasy and Thomas HD getting 10th. So that's it for the EU recap. And for the NA, we've had some big issues and some setbacks. Peterma and Pollo actually ended up dropping a world record kill again. And they got a 55 kill win in the opens, which is the world record. But they still weren't able to qualify because they have been landing at a pretty contested drop, getting the the shield medallion and the broken AR. There's a lot of people contesting them in open, so that's why they can't do really well. It didn't affect them last season, so I don't know why it's affecting them this season. They're a really good fighting team, best in the region, probably best in the world, but they're not really used to this meta, no rotation, just getting ran through, lots of glitches, lots of game-breaking items, so they couldn't qual. So every single EU pro actually managed to qualify for this NA final, this week, so that's actually really crazy, and EU might be taking over NA. So Mongraal and Savage actually ended up getting 51st, one place off qual, but two teams have actually gotten banned before the finals, so they could actually play and got 49th. So a lot of teams have actually had problems queuing up for their first two games in the finals. Mongraal and Savage not being able to play the first game, Pink and Mero not being able to play their second game because I think Mero got DQ'd and they didn't play their first game either. And Acorn and Cold also didn't get to play their first game. So there was actually only 89 players in the first game, so 11 players weren't able to queue in for the first game, which is actually crazy. So the NA recap was Tayson and Yamza winning NA. An EU team, Tayson moving to NA to play with the Yamza and now winning. They didn't do too well last Dual Cash Cup, but now they're really setting the pace. Getting first place. Muzz and Trashy, very good team. Since Muzz split with Paper, both Muzz and Paper are doing really well. Acorn and Cold in third, even when not playing their first game. Number 4, we had Kanata and Skittles. Cooper is still on vacation, but he should be back in time for FNCS. I am recording this in the middle of week 1, so round 2 is about to start. Kylie and Vert doing well again in 5th place. Another EU team. Then we have Agers and Rise in 7th place. Epic and Threats in 12th. So now here are the EU Pro placements. Whichever EU-based team or whichever EU player that have moved to play with an NA duo, these are their placements. Yamso and Tayson obviously in 1st. Kylie and Vert 5th place. Paco and Vorteca. Paco split with Mixon to play with Vorteca and they ended up getting 14th. Mongraal and Mr. Savage moved to NA and now they're 15th with only 5 games played, which is actually well played by them. Yapko and Quanti 16th. Vino and Clicks in 20th. So they've not been able to keep the hype of this duo, but in round 1 of FNCS they actually did something crazy. I'll make a video on it in about 2 to 3 days, so keep a lookout for that. Mero and Pink 22nd with only 4 games played, which is really crazy if you think about it. And then Mixon and Blaha 34th. So a new update came out after the Dual Cash Cup ended, and so basically that last Dual Cash Cup was the first Dual Cash Cup without the fists, and they got removed because of a glitch, but I think they will be able to come back, but who knows. So now the main rotation is Nitro Splashes, which are completely broken. They need a nerf, and that's why a lot of these teams have been struggling quite a bit. So after this Dual Cup, the day after, was actually removed, but the infinite ammo medallion is still there. So this has been impacting Chap and Teeny and Cooper and Kanata's drop, because the bow is the reason why they've been doing so well. So Cooper and Kanata, this is their second time their drop has been griefed. Last season, the yacht just sailed away into the sunset, and they had to just go around the borders of Grim Gate and Underworld, but they still ended up doing well. So let's see what they do this season. And now Chap and Teeny have actually moved drop spots because of this, and they've now been contesting another team at the place where you get Brutal Beachhead. So it will be an interesting spawn fight because it's another great team. but this is just how well Chapentini have been playing, that they can just move drop spots in the middle of the season and probably still be able to get a great placement. So we'll see how these teams do without the bow in the next Cash Cup. So I'll see you all in a few days when I record the FNCS recap. Bye.